Writers, authors, self-publishers. I wanted to take a look at how some of the pros market their books and share what I observe. Let's follow the breadcrumbs of marketing strategies used by successful authors and see if we can pick things up together. Let's start with author websites and look at a few of these closer. Now pay attention to the homepage and the hero images. To my eyes, I see the main focus as directing visitors to sign up to their email list. Notice how these don't really scream, buy my books. This is basically telling me that the focus, for the homepage at least, is not to sell anything, but to get visitors onto their email list. That is the goal, which begs the question, why are they so intent on this? The answer, to me, in marketing terms, is simple. They use their list to sell stuff, plain and simple. Now, I'm not hating on anyone, but the vast majority of authors are in this to make some money. It's definitely not for charity. This is a business model, and is, by and large, for profit. Sure, there are some that do this as a hobby, but the pros certainly don't see this as just a hobby. These websites are designed to funnel you into their universe by getting you on their email list. That's the bottom line, with the homepage at least. Which leads us to the next important point, email marketing. These pros have spent a reasonable amount of time and money probably to get their homepage up in order to get people on their list. Email list, that is. But what do they do with their email list? I'm guessing, but it's more than likely these pros are paying some money to email service providers, which means they need to at least break even on this in order to make profit. From sharing freebies, lead magnets, selling their products or services, to keeping in touch with their fans, you get the idea of how some of these pros use their email list. I'm observing that not every email is about selling their stuff. Nearly made a boo-boo with that word. The two breadcrumbs that I take from these examples are, number one, unless it's a book launch or some product launch, engaging with your audience, don't make it about buy my book all the time. Share other things as well, with the occasional plug for buy my book, or maybe even leave a review. Number two, when there's a book launch or product launch, there's a sequence of emails that primes fans for what to expect, when to expect it, and what to do next. This is the only time that I've seen when emails are most focused on the buy my book message, and that's after preparing them for it, of course. Next up is Amazon ads, or just ads in general. It's not uncommon to run ads. The idea is that if you spend $1 to make more than $1, it works out to be profitable, and therefore it's worth running ads. No matter how well established a brand or person is, they still run ads. Presumably this is because they get seen by more people and are likely to make some sales or get downloads as a result. Remember, running ads doesn't guarantee you'll make sales or be profitable, but many authors and businesses run ads. If I were to follow the breadcrumbs, I'd say ads can be profitable after some trial and error if you do it right. Let's shift gears a little bit and talk briefly about social media. Most people these days are on social media of some kind, and it's easier than ever just to scroll through older posts of your favorite authors. Look for stuff like cover reveals and other book launch type things, and you'll roughly know when a book was launched. Failing that, you can just look at the copyright page inside the book and you'll know when the book was published around that time. Then what I would do is check the posts around those dates, probably around 3 to 4 weeks on either side of the book launch, and I probably do this for the pre-launch and the launch phases so you know what the pros have done. Focus on one platform at a time, otherwise it's going to get overwhelming. I want to touch briefly on social proof, aka reviews. Now these can be in the form of ARC readers, ARC, advanced reader copy readers, or fans ahead of a launch or during a book launch where reviews start coming in. There are usually some editorial reviews from famous people or companies which may or may not have cost associated with. That's right, editorial reviews can be paid for and is common practice and serves as more social proof by people who are likely to know more or be more invested in the genre than any regular Jane or Joe. Depending on the timeline, it's entirely possible for book awards to also feature. Now these reviews and awards are used everywhere for marketing purposes, on their websites, on their social media, in the emails, you name it, it's going to be there. Finally, that all important but not career ending or career making book launch sequence. Now specifically I want to focus on the pre-launch and launch email sequences. Most authors let their audience know if they've got a target launch date for launching their book. Now this is perfect because you can jump on their email newsletters, I'd say 3 months or so maybe, and observe their emails during the book launch sequence or before. It doesn't have to be exactly 3 months. Different authors have different sort of time frames that work for them. Personally, I struggle with what to write in emails, even with my best friend ChatGPT at my fingertips. Now, I'm not suggesting you just lift and plagiarize what the pros write. Please do not do that. Use your own voice. Be authentic. What I am suggesting, though, is that we take note. Follow the breadcrumbs. How many emails did they send? What was the purpose of each email? Stuff like that. What was the time between emails, for example? Did they offer any free things? You gotta keep these things in your mind. Have you spotted any good tips from Alex Hormozy or Julie Broad's launch sequences or anyone else? I've highlighted a few that stood out for me. As you can see, they emailed the heck out of their email list. Subscribe to the channel if you found these marketing insights used by the pros helpful. Click here if you want to get a head start on book marketing, or check out this video if you want to get authentic book reviews.